A day where every hour matters. The top athletes across the country and world of all abilities and sizes taking over Hornet Stadium. Sacramento State hosting the USA Outdoor and Junior Outdoor Track and Field Championships. We're starting tomorrow. Collegiates and Olympic gold medalists are competing with sweltering temperatures.
And it's going to be hot and hot. The races are going to be hot. The weather's going to be hot.
The heat is actually beneficial to jumpers and sprinters like Kaylin Whitney.
Your warm-up doesn't have to be as long. You know, your muscles are already going to be warm, and it's going to be easier to get that pop that you're looking for.
With mild wind and blaring sun, the concern is on those baking in the stands. As Eddie Barrera is putting in some sweat equity for his shaved ice stand, hoping to cash in.
It's scorching hot out here, and it's black asphalt, so I'm in the right business, though.
And Burgess Brothers Barbecue braving the outdoor kitchen.
You brought out the best for the best.
More than 1,200 pounds of tender meat.
It's the best food ever. Smoked chicken, it's been marinating for about 24, 48 hours.
Juicifying in 220 degrees.
We're gonna have tri-tip with peppers and onions in it.
Stocking up on all hydration essentials.
I'm asking for fans in here right now because it's absolutely just too hot.
Maybe even have a little bucket with ice cold water where we can dump some towels they can put on their neck.
From the track and field to the stands and sidelines, a team effort to beat the heat over the next 4 days. Now, while the heat is something that will be good for jumpers and sprinters, it isn't good for some athletes such as long-distance runners. As a result, some event times tomorrow are actually changing to beat the heat as much as possible, and Sacramento is really hoping for a sell-out Saturday. The city is a finalist to host the 2020 Olympic trials, which will be announced this Sunday. Live in Sacramento, Vicki Gonzalez, KCRA 3 News.
And good luck to all of them. Thanks, Vicki. So how do you keep hundreds of kids cool in this kind of heat? A whole lot of water guns. Check out this summer kids camp at Rolling Hills Church in El Dorado Hills. That looks fun. They had to adjust their schedule because of the temperatures out there. So activities were kept to the morning hours with super soakers, water slides, a bunch of other cool summer activities for the kids. They were only out there till 11:30 this morning, then brought inside. There's more than 1,000 children and camp counselors at the 4-day camp right now.
I want to head out there.
Sounds fun.
Great morning. Well, to keep track of the heat and get a personalized forecast tailored for your neighborhood, you can download the free KCRA3 app. You can get an hour-by-hour breakdown of the temperatures in your area.
Other news tonight, detectives in Stanislaus County are conducting a death investigation after a body was found in a canal. It happened in Turlock. An irrigation district employee spotted the body this morning and called 911. A sheriff's dive team had to retrieve the man's body. Right now, the coroner is looking into the cause of death, but investigators have not released the man's age or any other information on his identity. A 3-year-old little girl who died during a dental procedure was laid to rest today. Friends and family gathered to mourn little Delisa Hernandez Avila. Last Monday, her mother took the 3-year-old to the Children's Dental Surgery Center in Stockton for routine dental surgery. Apparently, she was supposed to get 2 dental crowns, 2 molar repairs, and possibly a tooth pulled. But the mother got the shock of her life when her daughter died. Her mother says she was a happy little girl with no medical problems. Her parents and friends in the community want answers.
We want answers. We want to know what happened. We want to know what's going on. And until the investigation's over and the results come out from the autopsy, we would like for the clinic to be closed so the other child won't get hurt like this.
And on top of it all, Avila's family says 4 cars were broken into last night during the girls' viewing at the funeral home, and 2 donation boxes with money and pictures of the little girl were stolen.
In Placer County, a case of identity theft, and the Sheriff's Department is now asking for some identity help as they look for this suspect. Detectives sent out this photo of that woman today. They say she used stolen identification to make a large purchase at a local Macy's department store. If you recognize her, you can make an anonymous tip and still be eligible for a cash reward. Fire and police departments are sending out a strong warning today about people using and selling illegal fireworks. Police say the problem of illegal fireworks continues to grow here in California. It's a danger to people who use them, those who are near them, and obviously they can also start fires. Here's what's illegal. Fireworks like skyrockets, firecrackers, Roman candles, and other types of devices that explode, go into the air, or move around the ground in an uncontrollable manner. Police also remind people that even the legal fireworks need to be dealt with carefully. Make sure they are completely out and put in a non-combustible container with a lid. Or you can just look at one of those gorgeous fireworks shows. There are always many of those all around the region.
Absolutely. Raleigh Field is one of the best.
It is. Well, officials are asking people to report illegal fireworks in their neighborhoods, and you can actually download an app in some areas called Nail 'em to make a report.
An attack at a Michigan airport being investigated as an act of terror right now. What the FBI is saying about the attacker and the weapon he used.
Also, some new information being revealed in the Russian influence on U.S. elections. What's being revealed at the Senate Intelligence Committee today.
A violent assault at an airport in Michigan today is being investigated as an act of terrorism. It happened at Bishop International in Flint, Michigan, just before 10 this morning. Lieutenant Jeff Neville was stabbed in the neck with a knife with an 8-inch blade. The stabbing forced officials to evacuate the airport. We're told the suspect is a 50-year-old Canadian man, Amor Fatui, who came to the United States June 16th.
He was carrying baggage. He went into a restroom. He spent a little time in the restroom, dropped both bags and came out, pulled out a knife, yelled Allah Akbar, and stabbed Lieutenant Neville in the neck.
And that lieutenant now being treated at a hospital. He is expected to fully recover. We're also learning more about the man who opened fire on a Republican baseball practice in Northern Virginia last week. The FBI says James Hodgkinson carried a list of names of 6 members of Congress with him at the shooting. Congressman Steve Scalise and 3 others were injured in that shooting. Scalise was hit in the hip. His condition's now upgraded, though, to fair condition. Hodgkinson was shot and killed by Capitol Police. The FBI says he acted alone and the shooting has no connection to terrorism.
Today we're learning more about the investigation into Russian interference in the U.S. presidential election. Former Homeland Security Secretary Jeh Johnson tells Congress that Russian President Vladimir Putin himself ordered that attack. KCRA 3's Kathy Park is in our newsroom now with more on these new developments in the investigation.
Well, Edie, Homeland Security officials say in addition to hacking into last summer's DNC, Russians were also scanning state election systems.
Russian interference in the 2016 U.S. election was unprecedented in scale and scope, according to the former Homeland Security chief.
In at least 1 or 2 instances, the effort was successful at an intrusion. So there was a growing list, and we saw the scope of this activity expanding.
Homeland Security officials say elections-related systems in 21 states were targeted. Hackers tried to use commonly available cyber tools to gain access.
This vast majority of the activity we observed was indicative of simple scanning for vulnerabilities, analogous to somebody walking down the street and looking to see if you are home.
He says none of the systems targeted or compromised were involved in vote tallying.
I just really hope we err on the side of disclosure.
In separate hearings of the House and Senate Intelligence Committees, both Republicans and Democrats expressed concern that the Obama administration didn't let Americans know sooner.
Didn't the public have a compelling need to know?
So I was beating this drum constantly.
Secretary Johnson also says he wasn't pleased the DNC rejected help after its system was hacked and refused to turn over its server.
If they had turned the server over to either you or Director Comey, maybe we would have known more.
I'm not going to argue with you, sir.
And today, Special Counsel Bob Mueller, who is taking the lead on the Russia probe, met with members of the Senate Judiciary Committee, and that committee is one of several investigating this ongoing issue. Live in the newsroom, Kathy Park, KCRA 3 News.
Kathy, thanks. On the Gulf Coast, Tropical Storm Cindy is moving closer to the shores now. At least 17 million people are under a tropical storm warning. High tides, strong winds, and flooding already hitting several states, including Florida and Louisiana. States of emergency already declared in Louisiana and Alabama. Tropical Storm Cindy is expected to make landfall tomorrow between southeastern Texas and parts of Louisiana.
A little stretching is good for everyone, and today yoga teachers want you to know it. Today is International Yoga Day. This is a day to bring attention to the benefits of the practice. Experienced yoga practitioners and some newcomers joined together at the state capitol this morning for some yoga, and it also included meditation and wellness seminars. maybe use a little more flexibility in our political process. So not a bad way to start
So
the
many
day
things we could say there, but let's stick to the weather. Mark standing by. At least he got that yoga done early this morning.
And you know, this morning it was pretty comfortable. We had a delta breeze throughout the night last night, and areas like Sacramento, Davis, Dixon, and Fairfield had a nice cool start. But now that's the way it looks from our Rayleigh Field sky camera. You can see the flags are barely moving, and every time we get a bit of a breeze, it's actually out of the north. That's the opposite of a delta breeze, and we have 104. Currently in Stockton, it is hotter. We have 106, and the wind is lighter than what we saw last night, a northwesterly wind at 8. In Modesto, we have blue sky and 105, the wind out of the northwest at 9. In Fairfield, we have blue sky, 99 degrees. There is still a bit of a delta breeze, but it's really not making its way past Solano County. And in South Lake Tahoe, we've been seeing sunshine throughout the day before clouds started to develop this afternoon. Beautiful cloud here. There are more thunderstorms farther to the south. Right now we have 85 degrees. I can show you that on Doppler radar. We are seeing these showers, these thunderheads popping up over the crest of the Sierra. This is the last 3 hours. You can see the activity that started just east of Bear Valley, moving up through Markleyville and then up toward Topaz Lake. These may or may not make their way all up toward South Lake Tahoe in the next hour or so, but just keep your eye on the sky around Tahoe and maybe even all the way up to Kings Beach. So tonight, we're not going to have as much of a